everybody, welcome to Back Issues. I'm Sal.
I'm Ben.
And I'm Tiffany.
Let's talk about this weird Spider-Man comic that came out in 2019 called Amazing Spider-Man Full Circle. The idea was Tom Brevoort grabbed a bunch of writers and put them all together, and they issued like a challenge. Spider-Man wasn't turning any particular birthday. There was no fanfare, nor was there any precedent for it. It was just, hey, wouldn't it be fun if we did this thing where we gave like one story to a whole bunch of writers and artists where they would start with like one page, and then where they'd start with one issue, and then each team would write the next issue without knowing where it was going, and somehow manage to write a cogent comic book that all came together.
Okay, so
It's like one of those like icebreaker style games.
Yes.
Where it's like I say a sentence and then you add on to it.
Yes.
It's like
but you only hear the last 3 words of that sentence.
Mm-hmm.
it's like improv.
Yes. Yeah, it's a jam piece.
Yes, and.
Precisely. Spider-Man, yes, and. That's what this is.
So it's not. You said full circle. I was like a 360.
It is kind of a 360, actually.
And then
another 180. This is written by Jonathan Hickman, Jerry Duggan, Nick Spencer, Kelly Thompson, Al Ewing, Chip Zdarsky, and Jason Aaron.
This is some big names.
Yes, with art by Chris
7
Bocciolo.
issues.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I know. Chris Bocciolo, Greg Smallwood, Mike Allred, Valerio Scitti, Chris Sprouse, Rachel Stott, Cameron Stewart, and Mark Bagley wrapping it all up.
I am familiar with several of these artists,
Yeah.
but not all of them. Are they in the order of?
Yes, in the
with
order
their
of
pairing of their writer.
Precisely.
Okay,
So
because
Aaron
some of
and
those.
Bocciolo are not working together.
No, it
What
was
is happening?
Hickman and Bocciolo, which you would experience later in the Moon Knight Black, White, and Blood
That's true.
issue.
Yes.
So
yes.
there you go. This is, and this presupposes that it happened or not, whatever. It says an untold story of Peter Parker. So it's in continuity, it's not in continuity, whatever. Nobody cares. Marvel's not paying attention anymore, so whatever. So Spider-Man's been recovered from this tube in the AIM base that is also a ship that they are in. Nick Fury, of course, commissioned Spider-Man basically to come in and infiltrate and figure it out. He's been gone for 2 weeks.
When you say infiltrate,
Yeah, I don't know if
he's wearing his suit.
I know. I think it means like stealthily, like hide in the air ducts, that kind of thing. We never get to see how Spider-Man infiltrated AIM, but he did a really bad job because he was in a tube for the better part of 2 weeks.
I mean, I guess if you were in one of the beekeeper suits, no one would know.
This is also true, and I've seen many a hero do that.
Yeah, but I feel like you get way too hot a suit in a suit.
I really like Bocciolo's profile for Spidey. I think it's the eye. There's something about it that's fun. It's jaunty.
Yeah,
I'm sure you're not a fan.
I'm not, but I do. I like Spider-Man in motion. I like Bocciolo's art overall. I appreciate it. The way you appreciate art that I would never own.
You objectively understand that it is like correct. but
Or
you
at least it's correct to the artist's
That's what
style.
I'm saying. And subjectively speaking, you're like, name for me.
Well, it's more like, I don't want a whole series of this.
Oh, I like it.
Especially when we get to the next one, which is drawn by Greg Smallwood, which I'm like,
Yeah,
the dude from Human Target.
Yeah, Sal literally, like, after Human Target was just like, I'm on the Greg Smallwood bandwagon.
That's right, yeah. I'm bandwagoning, yeah.
Yeah, hopping on.
Yeah, so...
No, you're not bandwagoning. You're driving the wagon.
That's right, I drive the wagon.
I think Tom King's driving that wagon.
Yeah, he is, big time. So, Spider-Man has been freed by Nick Fury. They're like, what'd you learn? He's like, not much. And Fury's like, that sucks. I really needed more information. Whatever. So they get this other AIM agent, and they're interrogating him, but then he vaporizes because another AIM agent kills him, and they're like, oh, crap.
I was
So
going to say,
everything
that's
goes
a
to
hell of a
shit.
cyanide capsule.
I agree. Well, no, we'll
Quick, hit your vaporization button.
yeah, I think...
Oh, I don't want to.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. So,
Don't worry, I'll get it for you. Bam.
yeah.
I'm a
Vaporized.
Oh, great,
Thanks.
I'm a putty.
Exactly. Only the Zed putty.
Yeah.
So everybody hauls ass to the next leg of their mission. Spider-Man lags behind, and as he's running, he hears...
His suit's wet.
Yeah, well, he came out of
Yeah.
A weird tube.
a weird
Yeah,
back-to-tank
he's
tube.
really uncomfortable right now.
He is very uncomfortable. The idea, by the way, is that
Look
it
how
was,
wet and gross he looks.
it was a healing tube, because during the 2-week adventure that he doesn't remember, he was hurt very badly.
Oh.
And needed restoration. And
And
AIM was
AIM
happy to provide it for some reason.
He's also covered in the blood and guts of the guy that exploded.
Well, so is everybody. So Spider-Man hears this voice coming from a box or
Is-
a door.
Is Nick Fury eating a lollipop?
Yes, he is, because Nick Fury is forbidden from smoking in Marvel Comics ever since Quesada took over. And so, as a result, if you want to draw Nick Fury smoking or having something coming out of his mouth, or maybe you want to address the idea that Fury quit smoking along with literally everybody in the Marvel Universe, including Ben Grimm and Wolverine, then maybe he's got an oral fixation and he's got a lollipop in his mouth.
Well, okay, so when people quit smoking, they often need something. Like,
Yes.
it doesn't matter what it is.
Right.
It's not, it has nothing to do with an oral fixation, but they need something to fill that time. So that works.
Yeah. But yes.
I'm sorry, I have a hard time taking Nick Fury seriously with a lollipop in his mouth.
I think Bachelor thinks that's funny, or maybe Hickman told
He's
Bachelor
friends
to make
with
that
a guy
funny.
named Dum Dum Dugan, who is also the name of a lollipop.
And the guy's like, hey, let me out. And Spider-Man's like, I don't know if you're like a good guy or not. Why should I let you out? And he's like, just do it. Come on, man. Like,
Just do it, come on.
And he's like, I've been trapped here for a while. And he's like, well, I've been trapped here for a while too. Okay. So he frees him, and then he leaves. And he goes, wait until I'm gone before you leave, so that I don't look like a jerk for freeing you by whoever's watching, whether it's AIM or S.H.I.E.L.D. So he's like, okay. So then Spider-Man teams up with Fury, and Fury's like, all right, so here's what we're doing. We've been pinned down. We're going to use our personal translocators to teleport to the next place. We want you to come in from the outside and, like, you know, back us up. So get in the airlock. Bye. Hit the button, and Spider-Man is jettisoned into space.
Just on his own?
Yeah.
Without anything?
Without anything.
I feel like he's going to need something.
Well, thankfully, that black costume is issued by S.H.I.E.L.D. I assume that maybe S.H.I.E.L.D.
right.
must have made it in the 80s or something, because it's the black costume. But Spider-Man is floating towards the module that was launched towards Earth, and so, because that's the idea, is that they're chasing after this character that is escaping, that is causing a problem. Yeah?
Okay.
Can we talk about how, like, just from that first issue, what a brilliant writer Jonathan Hickman is?
Yeah.
Now, listen, everybody, I know. People like him, people are mad at him, people are whatever, right? But he totally got the assignment.
Yeah.
He sets up, like, a freaking storyline. We're in the middle of it, right? He sets up at least 3 different things that other writers can answer, right? The
Man in the box.
The man in the box. What happened in the 2 weeks? What did Fury want in the first place?
That's right.
And I'm like, that's awesome. And he has complete, like, self-control to not lead anything. He
Nope.
just leaves it totally open. I
That's
love
right.
that. That is a team player.
Agreed. No, and actually, at the end of this book, you can read some of the emails coordinating this whole thing. And it's fun to watch an idea coalesce, because it looks like it may be authentic. I hope it is. In my wildest dreams, I hope that this is not just fiction written by Zdarsky, and that it's actually just what we see excerpts from the emails.
That is straight up a Zdarsky thing
Completely,
to do.
Chip would do that. Like, he'd be like, oh, and my contribution will be the fake emails that we all sent to each other.
That's not part of the book, though.
Yeah, but it'd be great to be the backup for the book.
But it is now.
Yeah, listen, I'm writing Batman now, okay? Come on. Or at least I will be in 3 years. So Spider-Man's plummeting towards Earth, and Spider-Ham arrives. Spider-Ham is in another dimension, of course. Peter Porker, the spectacular Spider-Ham, who exists in the Marvel Animal Universe, star of Spider-Verse. In this, he's a hallucination of Spider-Man's.
Oh, okay.
And a harbinger.
Oh my god, he's got space madness.
But he's got that suit, and Spider-Ham reminds him of it, so he hits it, and he inflates, so now he's like a chubby Spider-Man.
He looks like Baymax and Spider-Man.
He is. But he says, no, the fact that you're hallucinating me means that you must be suffering from hypoxia. So, you know, get on that ship right now.
Right.
So Spider-Man webs to it, and then just because he's in this special S.H.I.E.L.D.-issued spider suit, he just rides the ship through re-entry, and then it inflates and creates a kind of like protective bubble, which he is webbed to as the ship crash lands on Earth.
Oh.
So Spider-Man emerges from his
So he
former
didn't-
costume.
He didn't have to get in the ship at all.
No, he didn't.
Okay.
No. So he gets out of it and then puts on his, like, I guess brought along regular Spider-Man costume, puts it on.
Oh, thank God. I was concerned it was a suit within a suit within a suit.
Yeah, no. It's a suit that he wears that inflates, and then it inflates a lot and becomes like a kind of protective module.
At the end of this, does Hickman write the last story?
I think everybody comes together and writes like a page or panel or something
I
like
was
that.
going to say, really, if it's full circle, Hickman should have the last issue that he has to be like, what did you guys do?
Right. No, it's full circle in as much as it's thematically full circle.
Okay.
It is a journey for Peter Parker to go full circle, and
Okay.
also it's full circle in that all the writers come together and coalesce at the end.
Okay.
So Spider-Man lands in Florida in a theme park, which they call Ferret Land.
Huh.
I don't want to go there. That
No,
ferret is horrifying.
it's Disney World, but not because it's horrible. It's like a combination of things, because they want it to be Disney World, but they don't want to make reference to Disney World. I'm sure Disney just said no. But also they want to make it so that there are multiple parks across America, which of course there are not. There's 2. So it's more
Right.
like Great Adventure, Six
Yeah.
Flags, than it is
But we can't call it Six Flags because Warner Brothers will be angry with us.
Exactly. And we also want it to be like bigger than Six Flags. Six Flags is a park that you can have across the country, but like it's not as a big a deal.
This is like if Chuck E. Cheese also had an outdoor area with rides.
Yes.
Also, this mascot there's not a lot to him. It's not.
No, it's
not
very
great.
simple.
Like he's more like a team mascot for like a high school team.
Oh, I know. Yeah, he sucks.
And I hate his eyes.
No, it's
They're
horrible.
just dead.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Tiffany. He's also dead inside, emotionally.
Oh, good.
So Spider-Man's greeted by a park official and the Ferret of Ferret Land.
Oh, they're both wearing matching yellow. Okay.
Yeah, it's theming.
Oh, it's the jolliest place on earth.
Get it? So Spider-Man tells the attending, cast member, listen, call the police and tell them to call S.H.I.E.L.D. and tell S.H.I.E.L.D. to call Fury and tell them that I'm in Florida in Ferret Land and that I'm chasing after the lead because that's where we're going with this. So, okay, bye. So he leaves.
I am not going to remember that. Also, I've got little Timmy's birthday to worry about.
Right. Well, also, all the Ferret Lands are secretly owned by AIM and are fronts.
That's why it's yellow.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Right? So she calls...
This guy's very comfortable in there then, because he's used to wearing the beekeeper suit.
Right, exactly. Plus,
This is actually
AIM,
roomier?
Yeah, it's probably also environmentally controlled, better than the cast members at Disney World, certainly.
So wait, but are they actually running a theme park?
They are running a theme park,
I
yes.
freaking love that concept that it's like AIM's trying to do AIM evil science stuff,
Yeah.
but also they need to worry about the marketing and running of an entire theme park across the US.
Yeah.
And they also keep bees.
Like, I really love that concept. Like that, like they're at like some like shareholders meeting.
Yeah. And they're like, oh my god, when I got into this, all I wanted to do was super science and take over the world. Now I'm arguing over mosquito control.
We have to work. Listen, we have to plan the holiday jamboree that's coming up.
Exactly. So the module that Spider-Man had fixed himself to originally had crash landed in the jungle ferry ride. So it's in the water. So Spider-Man gets into it, and wouldn't you know it, the man in the box is trapped in the bathroom in the module.
So who's writing this one?
Jerry Duggan.
Duggan. So Duggan doesn't want to answer it yet either.
No, we're not going to answer for a while.
I love that. They're like, I don't
Yeah,
want
to keep it going. But also, Duggan's following Hickman. Huh? So Spider-Man is like, wait a minute, how'd you get in here? And he's like, you let me out here, but then I got trapped in here. And he goes, I just freed you, man. I don't know who you are.
I freed you last
Yeah,
time.
I freed you last time.
Yeah, now it's on you.
He goes, look, dude, I've been trapped here for 2 weeks. And he's like, oh yeah.
Everyone gets one.
Yeah.
That's what Family
That's
Guy
it.
says. So he goes, wait a minute, it's been 2 weeks? Oh crap, what day is it today? So the man in the box tells him, and he's like, today is Aunt May's birthday.
Oh no!
Yes, classic Spider-Man predicament. I've got to get to Aunt May's birthday party. And I'm
No,
in Florida.
You get Aunt May down to Florida, and you have a fun at Ferretland.
That's right. Well, now that I know that it's owned by AIM, it's like, it kind of
does
ruins
he
the
know
fun.
that?
Well, he finds that out later. But he
Yeah.
also muses about the fact that he always wanted to go to Ferretland, but Aunt May and Uncle Ben couldn't afford to send him.
Aw.
So, meanwhile, Fury and Dum Dum are shooting AIM agents and trying to, free themselves. They do, and they end up, they're also in Ferretland. And meanwhile,
Oh, they got there.
yeah. So apparently there's like an evacuation protocol for Ferretland. So they're like, it's the whoopsie daisies. Everyone get onto the monorail and get out of here. Let's sing the goodbye song. And so Fury and Dum Dum, they go topside into Ferretland, and the ferret himself is like, I think that your pass is expired. And his hands become machine guns and opens fire at Fury.
Oh my god.
That's so sorry.
Fury murders the ferret.
They're
before-
literally finger guns.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, like Jeff Johns himself.
I love that.
Yeah. So Spider-Man shows up and he's like, you just murdered
Got this little girl.
this Mickey Mouse in front of this little girl. He's look, it's been fun. I need to borrow like a spare helicarrier you have because I need to go to Queens to visit my Aunt May for her birthday. I gotta go. And Fury's like, are you for real, man? Like, this isn't over.
I know, but have you met Aunt May? Do you know the guilt trip I'm going to get?
Seriously. There was a whole period in the 80s where I dropped out of graduate school and she gave me issues and
Here's the thing.
issues.
She's gonna say, oh, it's okay.
Yeah, but I know
I know it's not okay.
Yeah, you'll
She's
hear
gonna
it.
say it's okay for the next year and a half.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't need any of your your translators or code breakers to figure that one out, Fury, okay?
Yeah. So Fury points his gun past Spider-Man to indicate that things are about to get a little more topsy-turvy. Spider-Man turns around, and everyone's a werewolf.
What?
Yep, Spider-Man is being attacked by werewolves.
Those are guests of the park.
Yes, and an AIM agent.
Does that say Aru?
Yeah.
Like, really big?
Yeah.
But it's daytime.
Yes. No, these guys were triggered into becoming werewolves. So
Triggered!
Spider-Man also mentions that he mentions that his spider sense didn't go off. Like they're not triggering his spider
Oh,
sense.
these are the whoopsie daisies.
Yeah. So
That's what
Spider-Man.
happens when you sing the goodbye song.
So Spider-Man, Nick Fury, and Dum Dum start fighting werewolves. We're now in the next issue.
Oh, okay, yep.
That's a nice turn off.
Yep.
Oh, this is Mike Allred.
Exactly. Well, Mike Wolverine's drawing it.
That's what I'm saying.
Nick Spencer's writing this.
I don't know who's writing anything.
No, it's true.
I'm picking
But
out
you
art.
can tell. Oh, yeah, that's all right. But
I hate that so much.
oh yeah.
I don't want to go in that.
So the AIM werewolf attacks Spider-Man and then runs away, but also runs kind of like cautiously, like it wants to make sure Spider-Man's following him. So Spider-Man does follow the werewolf into. Maybe it's a small world ride. Who knows? It's just a crazy ride full of animatronic cartoon cast members who are all, of course, run by AIM. So they're yelling things that like super scientists would yell, like death to Luddites. 25% of Americans don't believe in climate change. Government spending on scientific research has been stagnant for decades.
So
Are these animatronics or are they people inside?
They're animatronics.
So immediately people are going to think Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Me, I'm thinking Giffany's behind this.
Naturally. Or is it Jiffany?
I was never really sure.
So Spider-Man's fighting these animatronics, and then the werewolf that he was chasing beats up the animatronic gorilla that was attacking Spider-Man, and he's like, "My name is Dr. Thomas Lattimore. Come with me if you want to learn."
Is he wearing glasses?
Yeah.
Yeah, it had to find its glasses.
Yeah, he's a doctor.
How do you wear those?
Over your ears. Yeah, they're
Were they wearing them before when it ran away?
No.
I had to find my glasses. Okay, now I'm a civilized
My
werewolf.
special lycanthrope-styled glasses.
That's right.
What?
So Spider-Man's like, okay, that's why you didn't trigger my spider sense. You're not trying to kill me.
Oh my
Right.
God, it
Right.
karate chops the ape's arms off.
That's right. So
I'm sorry, gorilla. It's not an ape.
that's true. So Spider-Man and Lattimore go walking through the tunnel, and Lattimore is explaining that like humanity is on a collision course for the end times because of our like inability to work together, and that's lycanthropy is actually an AIM plot that is meant to save the world.
If we could turn everyone to werewolves,
Yes,
we'll be set.
that's right.
At least 80% of people need to be werewolves.
For us to work.
We also have to get rid of all of the silver.
That's right. No, you'll see. The werewolf plot is a two-step process. The first of which is everyone turns into werewolves, and this is like a virus that was like triggered from the ship and Lattimore's actions.
Now,
Step 2, profit.
I didn't read a single issue of Nick Spencer's run on Spider-Man, but
No.
this feels like it's kind of more engaging.
Yeah, big time. Oh, this is way more engaging than the entire run of Nick Spencer Spider-Man.
There's a werewolf with
There's a
werewolf
glasses
scientist, man.
talking to him. This is
Yeah.
great.
Shots
Right?
fired and don't at us.
Right, true. So the Lattimore explains to him the butterfly effect and how like humanity has this effect on like every person has an effect on the world, and you know, wouldn't you want to go? Like, aren't you familiar with the concept of a seemingly random event causing irreparable damage or change? And he thinks back to
Old
his-
name comics.
Yeah, well, he's thinking of his inaction to saving Uncle Ben, of course, like leaving the burglar. So as Lattimore is explaining to Spider-Man, like the details of the plan and how he's like, you need to listen to me very carefully. It's a very intricate plan, but I'm going to get you through this. And then Nick Fury blows his head off.
No! Nick!
And Nick Fury's like, got him. And so also Lattimore explained that like Fury shouldn't be trusted and don't tell him or S.H.I.E.L.D. the plan because they have their own agenda
Man,
that
if
they're
only
doing.
he didn't bother to explain the butterfly effect and just told him the damn plan.
Yeah, well. So Spider-Man refuses to tell Fury about what happened. You know, it looked like that guy was talking to you. He's like, nah, forget it.
He was saying what big eyes he had. And teeth and
Yeah.
ears. It was this really weird thing.
He's trying to give me a porridge recipe that would have knocked my socks off.
He was communicating through a series of arus and barks.
So Spider-Man steals Fury's like translocator device, and
Oh,
then
the teleporty thingy?
The teleporter thingy, and turns
Okay.
it on, and then just goes to Queens, changes
Okay,
into his costume.
Forget this werewolf bullshit.
Yeah, no. He tries to bail at every turn. He's like, fuck this. So he puts on his regular Peter Parker outfit, and he's like, okay, well, I didn't really get a good present, but I do have, like, the ferret ears, you know, like Mickey ears, but, like, they're ferret ears. Gonna give those to Aunt May.
Oh my God.
So he arrives at the party a little late, And when he opens the door, Mary Jane and Aunt May and all the attended guests are also werewolves.
Why is
Everyone's
she,
a werewolf?
Well, why is she a red werewolf?
Because she's a redhead.
Yeah, but no one else is, like, they're not gray werewolves.
Eh,
They might be.
they wanted to draw her as a red werewolf.
Okay.
So, in an homage to the classic
Like Face of Tiger.
Face a Tiger, you hit the
jackpot.
jackpot. Yep. So that's how that issue ends. Is oh my God, Aunt May and everybody are werewolves. So then they try to have
just,
the
like,
birthday.
Eat it, everybody.
That's right. So they try to have this birthday party. Everyone's werewolves. Peter has to try and like pretend like he doesn't know what's going on.
Hang on, is Aunt May having a birthday party like I would have, where she's serving her own cake?
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, we're like Peter is the center of the attention. So he's like, okay, so you guys know you're werewolves, right? And then suddenly all the attended party guests who are also werewolves attack Peter.
Oh my God, we are?
Right. It's like they realize it. They
It's
like
like
the Wile E.
it's
Coyote.
cartoon physics
Yeah.
right there.
They
Here's the thing.
realize there's gravity.
I realized everyone else was a werewolf, but I didn't think I was a werewolf.
What if I am and you're not, then I'll attack you. So the werewolves attack Spider-Man, and he just webs the door closed, puts a Spider-Man costume on, and then gets a good look around for returning to the party. He's like, okay, I've got to at least make sure that everybody's safe. So he's going to like try and secure everybody. He encounters Mary Jane, who is a bigger, more scary, more realistic werewolf.
Is this Skeety?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I think so. Yes.
Okay, cool.
So Spider-Man encounters Mary Jane, if you will, and
Aw.
the two of them fight, and then he webs her down.
Excuse me, how long did you have that one?
I just did it right now.
I'm just funny.
I almost said Mary Jane by accident. So. So he webs Mary Jane to the ground, and then he boops her on the nose, and then proceeds to encounter and fight everyone in the party, including Aunt May.
Can we see the boop? Where's the boop? I'd like to see the boop.
Boop.
I mean, I guess
If you could,
if you had a
you
chance,
would.
you would.
I mean, I still love you.
Yeah. So, he fights everybody. Everybody there is like Aunt May's friends. So they're all old, and he's like, I'm hoping your werewolf bones are less osteoporosis-y. So
Does he also boop the snoot of?
he does not. He just
Of Aunt May.
he just apologizes and then webs them all up. And then he
He's
gets
not going to ask for any wheat cakes because there will be a lot of fur in them.
he says he wants
They
to
be
eat.
meat cakes.
He says he wants to eat some cake, but he knows there's gonna be fur in it.
Ew.
So Nick Fury calls him up on the risk communicator that S.H.I.E.L.D. gave him earlier, I
Right.
guess.
Okay.
And Fury's also a werewolf, and he's like, hey, everyone's werewolves.
I look pretty cool though.
So he hangs up on Fury, and behind a nearby door, it's the man in the box. Hey, let me in.
No.
And he goes, how'd you even get here? He goes, you mentioned that you had to go to a party. Sounded nice. I invited myself in.
No.
You know where I live?
Are you a vampire? Because
Right.
you're going by vampire rules now.
That's true. And try to remember that. So it's not really a vampire. So Spider-Man leaves, and he's like, okay, so I can still solve this problem. Everyone's a werewolf but me. That means I'm immune somehow, so I'll just use my blood to come up with a synthetic cure, and then he becomes a werewolf.
Ow!
Once you freak out, you become a werewolf.
That's right.
Oh, sorry, that one's ow!
Yeah, it's more classic. So Spider-Man's a werewolf, and and that's the end of that issue. So Spider-Man's swinging through the city, and he is hounded by a hallucination of Spider-Ham, but also he is visited by a black costume Spider-Ham who is... Okay, so regular costume Spider-Ham is the part of his conscience that like wants him to be happy and forgive himself, but the black costume Spider-Ham is his like negativity and his self-doubt, who's like, never forget that you fucked up and you will be paying for this mistake your entire life. And then the bombastic Bagman Spider-Ham shows up. That's the Spider-Ham costume that is from when Reed Richards took the symbiote off of Spider-Man, and he didn't have a Spider-Man costume to leave in, so the Fantastic Four gave him a old uniform and a bag to put over his head.
Yeah, to protect his identity.
So
Exactly.
who's he representing?
A joke,
Oh.
because he's just there. He's like, remember me?
Yes. Yes, I
I
do.
I thought this might be transitionary. Like, he was happy and then he was sad.
Yeah,
and then,
well-
like, when you remove it, you become a clown.
I guess
thing.
the bombastic Bagman wants to be more logical, so maybe he's like more like the
He's the moderator.
moderator, yeah. So you could see, where Spider-Man swinging through the city, and so he sees that like a old woman werewolf is about to be attacked, so Spider-Man attacks them. Werewolf Spider-Man is gonna like go full werewolf on this other werewolf, and he's gonna lose it, and the Spider-Hams are like trying to talk him down, and eventually our Spider-Man stays his claw and then forces himself not to werewolf out and kill this guy. And as a result, his hands revert, but not fully, and then he becomes a half werewolf man. So Spider-Man is
Wait,
like...
other people are also reverting too.
That's right. That's right. And so the old woman who was being attacked by that guy that Spider-Man was going to kill, she helps him up, and the two of them reconcile.
Kindness. Is this AIM's plan that if like you're just nice to each other and like better people, then like you'll be a human again, and like that's the lesson?
No.
But that's a good lesson to learn anyway.
It is a good lesson.
Like, don't be a dick.
It's
like such an easy lesson, everybody.
It's kind of what their lesson is, but you'll see. So then Spider-Man hears a voice coming from behind a manhole cover, and it's like, hey, let me out.
Are we in a different artist now?
Yeah. And he's like, okay, so you're the man in the box. And he goes, well, technically I'm the man in the hole right now, but yeah, you get the point. And he goes, you know what I think, voice? I think you're in my head. I don't think there's anybody down there. And he's like, how could I be in your head? I'm in a hole right now. You can hear my voice coming from it. And he's like, and you know who I am. Like, you know my name. And I'm pretty good at not telling people who I am, unless I work for Tony Stark.
Also, you were in a room in my aunt's house.
Right. Well, you're everywhere. You're in a capsule, in a room, in a manhole cover in Florida.
In a bathroom.
Yeah. While that happens, a holographic projection of Nick Fury appears in the sky and tells everybody that, like, the lycanthropy virus that everyone was hit with was just phase 1 of the actual plan, which is to turn everyone into half-wolf people. And to, like, when you werewolf out, you're gonna become a werewolf. And that's gonna be, like, more chaotic and more, violent. But it will pass, and then eventually you will become the half-werewolf person who has sentience and all that stuff. Like, you can chill out. But, like, let it happen, because this is the new world order. Like, this is how it's gonna work from now on.
There's nothing we can do about this. We can't solve this whatsoever.
Just don't resist the plague. Like, yeah.
Here's the thing. What is it going to do? People who make shoes, sorry.
Right.
Or you're out of business.
Oh, absolutely. Well,
Are you kidding me? Think about the awesome boots that you could have.
That's true.
Styled.
Well,
I feel like they'd just be kind of like leg.
Once we're Wolftopia, you won't have to worry about commerce and economics at all. So
it'll just be belly scratches and...
That's right.
And milk bones.
Yeah. Just, the milk bones. Spider-Man realizes, he remembers back in Florida when Nick Fury killed Lattimore, the eye patch was on the wrong side. So that couldn't have been Nick Fury.
It's mirror Nick Fury.
Did we just watch an episode of
Spider-Man from
when
1994?
The chameleon was pretending to be Nick Fury?
Yeah.
And like that's how he figured it out, was because of the eye patch?
That's right.
And whoever the super spy was that was with him, who was not Black Widow but clearly was, was like, wait, what?
Yeah, didn't remember
every
that.
Every spy there was like, oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay, just wondering.
Yeah, same plot as the one from the 94 cartoon.
Without werewolves.
Right.
Every spy just gets the key details.
Yeah.
All right, gray hair, eye patch.
Right.
That's Nick Fury.
It's close enough. So Spider-Man, like, while he thinks really hard, he then reverts back into being regular Spider-Man.
Oh.
And while he's remembering Nick Fury's eye patch placement, he hears Wolverine attacking some AIM agents that are in the street.
I can't believe he's not half werewolf.
That's what Spider-Man says. He's like, how would I be able to tell?
Are we going to be seeing a full Wolverine werewolf, or
no? That's over.
Werewolverine?
Wolverine? No, it's Werewolverine.
Wolverine.
Wolverine?
It's not bad. We're not going to see that anyway.
Then that really disappoints me.
I know.
Yeah.
Wolverine is like, it's a virus, right? Well, I don't get colds very easily.
That means there's no Deadpool werewolf.
No, there's no dead wolf.
Werewolf.
Werewolf, yeah.
Which I bet he would be really disappointed by.
Yeah.
Be like, oh, sure, everybody's a werewolf and I'm not.
Right, exactly. Spider-Man uses his handy-dandy teleportation device to take Wolverine and himself back to Florida, to go back to Ferret Land. Now, this is where I'm like...
Wolverine's just in the book now?
Wolverine's in the book now. And I'm like...
Why else did I draw him? Of course he's here.
Exactly. But I'm disappointed because, like, in this story, you're supposed to go, like, in crazy directions. Like, don't go back. Don't go back to another setting. Like, if it's going to be this ridiculous, like, move to another setting. But, like, don't go to the old setting and, like, retread.
Yeah, but at least we get to see Ferret Land again.
It's true. So they go to Ferret Land because, like, the idea is that if Fury was replaced, then maybe the real Fury's still there. So Spider-Man and Wolverine
Are you telling me
team
that
up.
fake Nick Fury murdered a fellow AIM agent?
That's right. Wow. I know. So what they discover is real Nick Fury has turned the tables. Originally, he was a victim / captive, but now is doing the interrogation on the AIM agent who captured him.
What happened to his shirt? What is he, Shatner?
He just looks dope.
He's
yeah.
just like...
This is how I turned the tables. I took my shirt off, and they all got like very intimidated.
That's right. Because they're like,
Aren't you like 60?
Aren't you like 105?
And look, I do the P90X.
He's like, I'm doing crunches right now.
And if you're not careful, I'm gonna crunch your skull on these abs.
That's right.
I'm gonna grate them.
Nick Fury's like, hey, Spider-Man, Wolverine, what's up? And he's like, it's WEREWOLF out there.
Wereworld? Where's Blade?
I know.
Would Blade be a werewolf? Wait, can he get a virus? I bet he can't. Is he just having a good time?
Is he killing a lot of werewolves?
Probably killing a lot of regular innocent people. So Spider-Man and Wolverine and Nick Fury are there, and Fury and Wolverine are like, we're going to interrogate this guy and make him think that we're going to kill him if he doesn't tell us everything. Spider-Man, you go out there to make it look like it's going to be real. And then they really, really do, like, torture this guy.
And Wolverine's like, I am in.
Yeah,
I'm already doing it. Let's go.
You're not gonna torch me in front of Spider-Man? Spider-Man, go outside.
Yeah.
Oh dear God!
Exactly. But before that, Spider-Man encounters another locked door, and behind that door is the man in the box, who's like, hey, and he goes, listen, what the fuck is going on? Like, why am I hearing your voice? Was I implanted? Like, do I have some kind of device in me, or like some kind of post-hypnotic suggestion? Like, what's going on here? It's been like because I was under for 2 weeks. There's a good chance that something was done to me. And he goes, look, I can't tell you everything. I have to be very vague about any of my instructions or suggestions. There are rules here. And he goes, rules? What do you mean rules? He goes, look, it's doctor's orders. They're very weird rules.
Doctor Strange!
And he goes, oh. And then the voice goes, oops. And he goes, what do you mean oops? And he goes, apparently I was not vague enough. Apparently you figured that out too quickly, and I broke the rules of my situation, and now the doorway home, where I need to be, has been closed, and I'm probably trapped here forever.
I have a theory.
Yeah. Oh, well, Spider-Man reveals, I know who you are, I know the voice, and so he's like, all right, well, since the cat's out of the bag, but the guy's not out of the box, I'll tell you.
Is it Uncle Ben?
It's not Uncle Ben. That'd
Damn.
be cool. It's actually Spider-Man from the future.
Oh, that makes sense.
It's himself.
I was hoping it was Uncle Ben because of the connection to going to see Aunt May.
I love that idea.
And because it's Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange has done that once before.
Exactly. If this had been probably, they'd taken another week to work on this, it might have been Uncle Ben.
And like the idea of like the door, like he can't go back.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's pretty tragic.
But it is about not going back. But like,
okay. Dang.
Yeah, but then we couldn't do ridiculous shit.
No,
in
that's
the story
fair. I think this is a better way to go.
It would be sadder if Uncle Ben was here.
I know. That's why I'm like glad they didn't do that. But
Yeah.
I was like, oh, is it Uncle Ben?
Exactly.
Oh.
You were right to try and go to Aunt May's because she would have been very upset had you not made it.
Trust me, the 2-week gap? No, that was because Aunt May was mad at me for 2 whole weeks. No, that's not true. He says, Doctor Strange magicked me into your head through you because you were unconscious for 2 weeks, so I was able to go back 2 weeks. But AIM didn't just do the werewolf virus, they also have like a backup plan, a plan B, if you will.
A vampire plan.
Again, hang on to that. So Spider-Man goes back to the interrogation room where Fury and Wolverine have revealed they didn't kill this guy or even torture him. They
just had a nice heart-to-heart chat with him.
That's what the AIM guy says. He goes, honestly, it felt really good to get that off my chest. And then the wall explodes, killing the AIM agent, and reveals that there's a bunch of mercenaries, and they are animal people, like a duck man and a wolf man and a frog man and a horse man. And they attack Spider-Man, Wolverine, Nick Fury, and they're all just in a big fight in Werewolf Land.
It's Star Fox.
Yeah, basically, it's those characters with Star Fox.
I saw the horse person. I was like, okay, a werehorse is not a thing.
That's a girl. She's a filly.
Yeah, no, that has nothing to do with the werewolf plot. It's a completely different thing.
I think that's like a bear person as well. The frog is ridiculous. The duck is what's sending me right now.
Nice.
What?
I think the horse woman with breasts is the one that really bothers me the most.
The duck. I just can't. Does he have feathers?
The byproduct of the high evolutionary.
Of course. Who's mad now that there's werewolf people? He's like, this is my thing.
He's so busy doing this. He's just like, fuck you. Because in his situation, he knew that he needed to battle these heroes and yeah. Oh, so
I took my name a little too literally. I got really baked, and I am the high evolutionary right now, and I'm just
to be the high
making
evolutionary
shit.
to enjoy this book. So high evolutionary grabs Spider-Man, and he's smashing Spider because he's huge, which he normally isn't, but whatever. So
I love that he's huge, but he's being himself. He's clearly controlling a robot of himself.
It's a robot
of
exosuit of himself.
He's like, I can make it look like anything, but obviously me.
I'm awesome looking. As is the case by my very on sale Marvel Legends action figure.
Well, I needed to reveal who I was.
Right, yeah. Otherwise, you wouldn't know who it is. You'd be like, big robot, and it's like, it's me, the High Evolutionary. It's more complicated if I explain it out loud.
I would love it if it was like some part of Ferret Land.
Right, it's not. Yeah, right? Like Ferret Land.
Wait.
Run by the High Evolutionary.
Where is the AIM response to shouldn't something come to life and like a giant ferret in battle?
Oh, yeah.
Him?
That's true. It doesn't.
A, yes.
Thank you.
But B, maybe he was controlling all the animatronics.
Oh.
Well, in any case, the High Evolutionary is smashing Spider-Man around, and while he's holding Spider-Man against some rubble, the man in the box starts talking to him from the rubble and is like, okay, so I screwed up because of me screwing up with the vagueness of my explanation, and now you know who I am.
Now you get random animal people.
Well, no, that's just the thing that's happening, and it's the thing that I knew would happen, but I'm trapped here, and as a result of the spell, I'm going to be stuck in this time. So now I am the man in the box. I'm actually physically in this plane, and I'm from the future, of course. I knew about this High Evolutionary fight, which I was trying to prevent, but I screwed up, and so now I'm here, and I'm physically here, and the reveal is that, the High Evolutionary, who was dealing with the werewolf plague, turned the heroes into things that the wolves would hunt, and so future Spider-Man is actually a pig man. But not Spider-Ham, a literal pig man.
I was really having fun with this book, and then this showed up.
Get ready for Zdarsky's issue.
Oh no. Chip.
So future Spider-Pig, which also is thematically called back to, thanks to the Spider-Ham hallucinations.
Yeah.
So, also I don't like the startling
pig.
realism.
And any of it?
No, I don't like any of it. So,
That's better.
future Spider-Pig man emerges to fight the High Evolutionary, who of course transformed in the first place. Zdarsky writes this, and you might, if you are a huge lunatic Spider-Man fan, you might recognize the lettering is the same as Kraven's Last Hunt. So, future Spider-Man who's turned into a pig wants revenge against the High Evolutionary and starts going insane like Kraven does in Kraven's Last Hunt. And we see him attack the High Evolutionary exosuit and go inside and face him, and his insanity devolves into him becoming Kraven the Hunter, but as a pig man. And so we see a pig interpretation of Kraven's Last Hunt. Our favorite sequence is Kraven jumping into the room full of spiders and eating them. Well, he jumps into a room full of bacon and starts devouring the bacon.
Okay.
And it's just total madness.
I don't know why I'm going to ask this out of all the things I could ask about. Why would it be bacon?
Right.
Shouldn't it be the thing he's hunting?
Yes.
Well, no, because Kraven wants to be the spider, so he eats the spiders. Spider-Pig is a pig, but he's embracing becoming the pig. But pigs, of course, ultimately become.
For some reason, I always thought Kraven was eating the spider to like master his enemy.
Well, he wants to become Spider-Man. He wants to become the spider, and so he eats the spiders to ingest his foe.
Yeah, to build up a tolerance.
Right, or whatever. Remember, he can eat the spiders easily, but he can't eat that
bowl
little
of venom.
Because
it's a bowl of venom.
That's true.
Again, that he had a milk.
Naturally.
I guess he should have had a bowl of lard.
Right, yeah.
Oh, stop.
So, Spider-Pig defeats the High Evolutionary, the head explodes, it falls down, and Nick Fury and Wolverine join Spider-Man, who's like, so that was Pig Me from the future, who I think died just now, revealing that the Nick Fury with the wrong eye patch is actually a life model decoy that is, causing the problem. He pushed that hand. And so Wolverine and real Nick Fury face and chase the fake life model decoy Nick Fury, and Spider-Man is just covered in offal and guts from himself as a pig, and he's like, you guys go ahead and take care of that. I'm gonna clock out and go home.
Fair.
Yeah, you've become Carrie.
Yeah. Oh, it turns out actually that the hand did not crush the High Evolutionary. It just
Somehow.
squished him. It fell conveniently out of his hands. Maybe Spider-Man's
went-
last act of
like,
heroism was just pushing the High Evolutionary out of the way. But in any case,
Take me.
yeah.
I don't want to be this anymore.
Well, I wouldn't.
This is a mistake.
Yeah. So Spider-Man grabs the High Evolutionary and he's like, hey, what happened? What was Lattimore trying to tell me? where is this all going? And Aunt May shows up and she says, follow your heart, because Aunt May is also here and she's still a were person. And Spider-Man's like, Mrs. Parker, what are you doing here? And she's like, oh, you know, my
nephew got me these ears.
my nephew got me these ears and my party was ruined, so I thought I could use a vacation. So she immediately flew down to Florida and went to Ferretland.
Sure.
Exactly.
And I got a Silvermane discount on my ticket.
That's right. So Spider-Man's like,
Silvermane.
which is also a Spider-Man villain. So Spider-Man, he feels his spider sense triggered, and so he turns around because he doesn't know where it could come from, but it's actually from Aunt May, who is shooting him with a gun, and he's like, oh no! And then he awakens, and he's in a tube, and Nick Fury's like, hey, wake up. And Spider-Man's like, oh, thank God, it was all a dream, wasn't it? And Nick Fury's like, no, it isn't. It was not a dream. You were hurt. We put you on the helicarrier into a stasis tube. It's all crash landing. Let's go.
So he's back in a tube like he started at the beginning with,
Yes.
with AIM instead?
Yeah, but not the same tube.
I was
tube.
New tube.
I was almost convinced it was going to be just a dream sequence.
Yeah,
He was
of
going
course.
to the tube the whole time.
That's right.
But I'm glad that it's a new tube.
Yeah, no, new tube, new...
Real stakes.
Real stakes, that's right.
New
So-
tube. What's this?
So the helicarrier is going to crash, and Spider-Man's like, where's it going to crash? He's like, Queens! And it's like, of
I
course.
can still make the party. Oh, wait, that was already last week.
No, you don't want to make the party. The party's over. But it's going to crash in Queens and destroy his
Welcome to
neighborhood.
the party palace.
So Spider-Man's like, oh crap, like, I can't stop this. I can't solve this problem. And Nick Fury's like, shut up, because we found the other weapon, the secret weapon, which we were looking for actually in the beginning of the Hickman story. They're like, where's the secret weapon?
Yeah.
Which we thought was the werewolf plague, but actually it's not. It's this box.
Okay. Who's drawing this one?
Cameron Stewart.
It's good. I like it.
Yeah, I like it too.
It's funny because like his people don't look like Bagley's at all, but his Spider-Man had like that thin quality that he's
Yeah.
drawn in like Ultimate.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have another person in a box?
Yes. Well, this is the secret weapon that AIM was going to unleash. The
There's-
cure for everything.
There's a box, but presumably there's something in that box because it goes thum.
Yeah, that's right.
Boxes don't usually go thum on their own.
No. So Spider-Man's like, the cure for everything, what the hell's that? And Nick Fury's like, shut up, everybody. Because now we're being attacked by all the villains of this book, which includes evil werewolf Aunt May, evil werewolf Nick Fury, the Ferret Man, the AIM agents, even that duck.
It's
Fury.
the confusing six.
So Spider-Man like jumps out of the way and lands on the secret weapon box, which explodes, and he's like, ah, jeez. Like some days, some things just don't go your way. Like a crashing helicarrier into your neighborhood while you're being attacked by werewolf versions of your friends. And then his chest starts to burn, and he starts to throw up, and he vomits spiders. Just an endless stream of spiders start pouring out of his body, and
That is a nightmare.
yep. And he realized that the secret weapon is the Punisher merged with the ultimate nullifier, who is now going to crash the helicarrier into Queens and then hit the button and unmake all of existence.
Do you have to crash the carrier into Queens? Can't you just hit the nullifier now?
Well, it's going to do that anyway.
Do you have to destroy my house too?
Why is he throwing up spiders?
They're magic spiders, kind of. We'll get into that.
Oh,
so
okay.
he's vomiting spiders, and what don't look like but are actually meant to be butterflies.
You look like flies.
They look like flies. They're not. They're butterflies.
I guess, yeah, I can see. All right.
What they're trying to go for, but
Yeah.
he's vomiting up butterflies and spiders. But I love the narration of this where he says, every once in a while there's just one of those days that really brings it, you know? Like the day you meet the Punisher who's been bonded with the ultimate nullifier on a crashing helicarrier while you're puking spiders, and you find yourself all out of laughs. Happy birthday, Aunt May.
That's awesome.
Just that's me facing the end of the world. So so after he vomits up all of the butterflies and spiders, they encircle and create a portal. And so as the Punisher nullifier hits the button and unmakes a reality, Spider-Man dives into a portal created by the puked spiders and butterflies.
Doctor Strange?
Sure. And he leaps into it and disappears while all of existence is unmade, and he ends up back where he started, full circle, out of the tube, being rescued by Nick Fury in the black costume. And he goes, I'm back in space! And Fury's like, what do you know? And he's like, get out of the way! Because he's going to unmake everything that happened in this book. So he starts running.
There's no time!
There's no time! So he's running through. There's a dude in the wall.
No!
Screw you!
Yeah, he says, shut up! And he webs the wall closed. Nick Fury's like, who's there? He goes, no time! So he beats the crew of the ship so it doesn't explode and doesn't cause any like problems. It doesn't launch the the pod like they were going to. He says, "You gotta mobilize S.H.I.E.L.D. and tell them that every Ferret land is actually a front for AIM." And he's like, "What?" That's the craziest thing I've ever heard.
Ferret land?
I love that place.
Yeah. And he
I
goes,
was going to have my son's birthday there next week.
"You think that's crazy? Well, wait until you hear the werewolf plot." So Fury launches S.H.I.E.L.D. and
At that point, I'd be like, everyone take down Spider-Man right now.
Spider-Man needs to be stopped. So Fury launches S.H.I.E.L.D. They take down Ferret Land, and he goes, "Come on, we gotta get to the shuttle bay right now." And Fury's like, "How do you know? I've already been here. I've lived this whole day."
I'm in Groundhog's Day.
Yeah, this was Lattimore's failsafe that he alluded to when he was a werewolf. So Spider-Man stops the pod from escaping. He pulls Lattimore off of it. Lattimore's like, "Damn, you're fast." And he goes, "It worked! Your plan, your backup plan for if neither of your contingencies to save the world worked." So, because the plan was to basically find whoever could at the end of your plan. If your plan to save humanity didn't work, it would grab onto Spider-Man or whoever's nearby and then send you back in time to stop it from happening.
So
That's the
butterfly
failsafe.
effect.
Exactly. So Spider-Man webs Lattimore to the hull of the ship just to keep him there. But I love it because he says, "Lattimore, your plan worked." He goes, "Oh, to unify humanity through a lupine base?" He goes, "No, the contingency plan." He goes, "Amazing. So you're from the future." So then he leaves and he goes to the door where himself is. And he says, "Hey, let me out." And he goes, "No." And he goes, "No, you gotta let me out." "But okay, I'm risking a lot, but you're me from the future." "Yeah, I know." And he goes, we went through this already. We dealt with the High Evolutionary. You're a pig man. You thought you were Kraven for some reason. Then you went nuts. And then Punisher grabbed the ultimate nullifier. And he goes, "No, what are you talking about? That's not what happened. It's vampires. And it's Baron Zemo who is behind it."
What?
And
Vampires?
actually, we've got to stop Ghost Rider from being merged with the Cosmic Cube. And Spider-Man's like, Stop.
It doesn't matter.
No, the problem is you. The problem is you going back in time and thinking you can stop what happened. You can't.
But Spider-Man just went back in time and stopped
Right,
what
but we
happened.
can do it once. But we're not going to keep doing it. I'm predisposed to wanting to unmake one mistake, and if you're given this opportunity to go back in time, you will continually do it. You'll be stuck in a loop. And so you need to stop. You need to learn to chill out and accept that you can only go forward. And so behind the door where the future Spider-Man is, another doorway opens. Full of spiders and butterflies. And Spider-Man, the future Spider-Man walks through it, and who knows what happened to that other future Spider-Man.
I could not care less.
Right.
Hopefully he is eaten by these spiders and butterflies.
Right.
Yeah, I
So
hope
that we don't have to ever see him again.
Yes.
In that future, because of what happened, the burglar did escape. The High Evolutionary does make monsters, but whatever. Spider-Man had a little bit of a head start, so the heroes win. And Spider-Man makes it to Aunt May's birthday party, and he's with the people who matter, which is Mary Jane and Aunt May.
And she loves the ears.
Sure.
He got a real gift this
He
time.
got a real gift this time. He didn't
He didn't
go
have
to
to go on
Ferret
the
Land.
stupid.
Yeah, we don't get to see what it is though.
Yeah, we don't care. And so that's Spider-Man Full Circle, which is it does go full circle, kind of, and is about going full circle.
It goes full circle, except for the fact that it bugs me that it's you have to move forward. You can't fix the past, except for the fact that I just fixed the past.
Right. Well, one of these emails actually explains that and says, "I like the idea that he learns that after already doing it once, already going through that."
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, "I'm fixing this because this is insanity."
Yeah. Many emails later.
Yeah. It sounds like Lattimore's machine works. Stage 1 Time Ghost was a bust, but Stage 2 Time Cocoon worked out great. How does that affect the conversation between Spider-Man and the Man in the Box at the end? Because it was the man behind the door's involvement that led to the end of the world scenario in the first place. Those interactions had the butterfly effect that end at Frank blowing up the universe. Letting him loose again would just shut off another chain reaction.
Okay.
That was Nick Spencer explaining it.
Why would they merge the Punisher with the
Ultimate Nullifier? Because he's the happiest to kill people.
It's
Okay.
the biggest gun ever.
Right? But then
Without
Al Ewing
being
is
a
like,
gun.
well, wait, I get that, but if the Man in the Box goes back and makes things worse, and Spider-Man goes back and makes them better, those are two stages of the same process. What does Spider-Man say to the Man in the Box? Is it going back in time in general that's bad? Or is it how the Man in the Box went back in general? And Nick Spencer's like, okay, let me just write a sequence where they talk about it. And he writes that dialogue scene. And then Kelly Thompson's like, this is all pretty weird. Good luck with it. Anyway.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So that's Amazing Spider-Man Full Circle. It was just this book that came out that nobody asked for except, I guess, Tom Brevoort, who was
It's
like,
still
"Wouldn't it be
entertaining."
neat?" It is very
Yeah,
entertaining.
I gotta tell you, like, this is madness.
It's total madness,
This
but
is
it's supposed to be.
absolute madness.
I mean, Zdarsky clearly is like, I'm gonna go full madness.
Tiffany, what is it?
Madness! Madness!
Yay!
Madness.
Madness! But it's really engaging.
Yes.
Like, it is
Because
definitely.
you just want to keep turning the page to see the next crazy thing, and for them to like teach you a lesson at the end is also just the icing on the cake. I like that.
And there was cake at the end.
And this cake, full circle.
Delicious.
And I like that Bad
like a
Age drew the
room full
ending
of bacon being consumed
by
by
a pig man. Oh, it's horrible.
I never need to see that again.
No, I really didn't like it when I first saw it. I'm like, oh, I don't like it now, but I didn't like it then
Like
either.
this?
No,
There's
there's grease around his mouth.
Well, I mean, it's delicious bacon, but it's the way he's shoveling it in.
It's
It's
like-
like
He
he's
doesn't
gonna
even taste it.
It's like he's gonna eat his own hand next.
It's
Yeah,
like
well, he is
One
basically.
bite too much.
There's grease around his mouth, but like it also looks like he's like sweating grease because he's a pig.
Yeah.
Like there's just a lot going
It's
on.
a room full of bacon.
I much prefer a bowl full of lard.
Ugh.
Oh, the spider swine? That's what he calls himself?
That's what he decides to call himself, yeah. It's horrible, but so funny and really stupid. The other thing I would recommend is that you definitely read the emails. I remember it wrong, where I was like feverishly looking for the emails on the internet. I'm like, what group released the emails? Like, what blog is it on? And then I picked up the book and I'm like, oh, it's at the end.
Oh, it's right here.
Oh, it's right here. And maybe it's not even real. And probably isn't. But I do like the interactions, and they seem pretty authentic, and I'd like to believe that that's like how Al Ewing would talk to Dick Spencer and so forth.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, well, it's fun to see them like...
All right, well, here's the conversation instead.
It's fun to watch them come up with the ideas, like and things that aren't in the story that would eventually evolve into the story, and watch, you know, all these people are capable, celebrated writers who can do things on their own, and watching them work in an email together, like, this feels like a pandemic book, and it isn't.
That's really funny.
Right? Like, this is just, Brevoort's like, wouldn't it be cool if you all worked on Zoom and like came up with a bunch of things and just collaborated and make this book that we could all like just like kind of release and make like $10 off of? And then they went, well, yeah. And then I'm sure the pandemic hit and they're like, damn it.
Maybe we could do that again?
No. We're all busy being on podcasts. or getting Substack deals. So there you have it, everybody. We'll see you guys next time with an all-new episode of Back Issues. I want to thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next week. I'm Sal.
I'm Ben.
And I'm Tiffany.
So long.
Bye. This is just, I don't know. This is fun.
Yeah.
This is way more fun than I expected.
I
Even,
know.
even with
I was worried.
It's a whole level of crazy.
I was worried by Spider Swine. You're going to be like, done.
done. Damn you, Chip Zdarsky. He put full emphasis in his part of the story on
The pig part.
the pig part. He's like, hey, you know what? I'm going all in on the pig.
Yeah.